Hello and welcome to EV Motoring. I'm Joe, and it's time to take our 2025 Chevrolet Equinox EV LT all-wheel drive on a range test. Just beginning the test, I have just over 1 mile to go to get to the highway. It's the same loop that I use on every single test. So I will head out towards Rockford, then south as far as I can go, basically to get to like 50%, then turn around and come home. With this car, it really does not like being under 10%. So I may try to turn around a couple miles earlier just to really ensure that I make it home. The tire pressure is aired up where it's supposed to be, just about 42 PSI. I reset the trip, and I have the air set to 72 degrees. Which is also what I've done on every single test, with fan speed set to auto on the lower. Usually I do the lower side if there's an option, but on this car it's basically auto or choose your fan speed, but then it doesn't regulate the temperature properly. So either way, like I said, trip is reset. Be sure to comment down below how many miles you think this car will go. I've also done a range test in the cold weather that did not do well at all, so we'll see how this 88-degree warm weather affects the car, and we'll check in. I'll do a quick rolling clip every 10%, as well as I'll check in every 25% to kind of give an updated analysis. And I'll also put efficiency numbers down below as we go. So at 100%, the car is showing 314 miles of estimated range. My thought is that we'll end up somewhere in the 250 to 260 range, but complete guessing. I haven't looked up any data about this car. Just over 10,000 miles on the car as well. We just got back from a road trip to Orlando. That video will be coming in about a month or so. And this, this is the 2025 Chevy Equinox LT, so it's the base model. Only option I bought on it was basically power seats with a 360 camera. And I think it made the steering wheel leather. So very, very bare bones, no glass roof that's gonna let a lot of heat in. So should be pretty much as efficient as can be. I do have the all-wheel drive, but according to the EPA, the all-wheel drive doesn't really do a big hit. On many vehicles, it's like a 20 or 30 mile hit. And in this, it's just, I think, like a 5 or 10 mile hit to the range. So let's see how close to the 310 mile mark we can get. Just ticked down to 75%. Cruising's been going pretty smooth so far. Just made it to 64 miles, averaging 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. So a little bit less than I would expect. We'll see how it equals out at the end, because there's like a 5 mile an hour wind that I'm driving into right now, but when I turn around, it'll be a tailwind. So hopefully we end up around 3 miles per kilowatt hour. I know that's a little bit lower than the Tesla was when I did this range test, at least at this point. So we'll see how that pans out. 64 miles would be, quick math, I think that's around 250. So we'll see how that works out too. Cruising here in the Equinox, I've done road trips in it. It is just a very, very comfortable car to cruise in. The Super Cruise really is the only thing missing from making this an outstanding road trip car. I just didn't check that box for that option or spec it that way. I actually don't even know if I could get Super Cruise in my base model, so it would have costed a lot of money to get that. But suspension super smooth. I do like these that I have the small rims and big tires. It really absorbs the bumps well. It's proven to be a pretty comfortable road trip car. Either way, we'll check back in at 50% when we're turning around and see where we're at then. I turned around at 51%. It just ticked down as soon as I merged back on the highway. We've gone just over 121 miles. So that's projecting that we could go 200 and just over 240. I'm suspecting, as I mentioned earlier, that now that that couple mile an hour wind is behind us, that should help efficiency a little bit. Hopefully we'll get a little bit better than 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour on the way back. Reiterating how comfortable this car has been and how quiet it is in here. I mean, I'm going by a truck and trailer right now, and there's almost no road noise coming in here. So really comfortable place to be, and let's see if we can make it back with a couple percent remaining, hopefully. Otherwise we'll have to find a bailout option for a charger. So, but I think with the wind behind us, we'll be able to make it home, and we'll have traveled just over 240 miles. We'll check back in at 25%. Down to 25%. We've traveled just over 192 miles, and the efficiency has crawled its way up to 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. So that's very good to see. It means we are going to get a little more range than I originally predicted. Currently, it's projecting me to get home with 3%. So if I end up doing a little better on efficiency, I'll go an extra exit or two and loop around to try to arrive back with as little as physically possible. So as I mentioned earlier, this car doesn't love, in a Tesla you can pretty much run it down to 1 or 0%. This car doesn't love that as much. It really doesn't like being in the single digits. So we'll see how the car is performing when we get close to the end, and then we'll decide if it makes sense to try to do another exit or two. So it looks like we should be able to make it another 40 or 50 miles or so. Just exited the highway. We have 10% right now. We've made it 239 miles and averaged 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. The reason I didn't loop around a couple more times was traffic start for the last maybe 4 or 5 miles that I was on the highway. Traffic started bunching up a little bit that it was hard to keep maintaining 75 miles an hour. So I thought the better route or the better plan should be to just call it, pull off. So as I started saying before my camera died, I was going to do a little bit of math, and my estimate is that we would safely make it for sure 15 to 20 miles more than we did had we tried to run it down to 0. I'm going to be a little bit cautious on the and I'll say 15 is the safer number, because we know this car doesn't like being much below 10%, and we're at 10% right now. So that would put it at 255 miles. So just a little bit less than the Tesla, but still, I've done road trips with it, and this Equinox has proven to be a very good road trip vehicle. So that was a wrap for the range test here in the 2025 Equinox EV. Let me know, do you think it was enough range? And would you consider buying it, considering how far it went? And take care until next time.